everybody and get some booms in the chat for the playthrough for Expert Division with the tournament win in the Coast to Coast tournament here in Golf Clash the game. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. You can become a master in tournaments by following our ultimate tournament text guides, the best text guides on the market, by becoming a patron. Link to patreon.com/golfclashtommy is in the description down below. This is going to be a much more difficult tournament than we have had in a while. Every drop needs to be earned. We can, in some sort, with higher level clubs, go green on 4, even though that's going to be a bit inconsistent. I will give you 2 different ways on 4. I will give you 2 different ways as well, if I'm not mistaken. I need to think now. You're gonna get 2 different ways on another hole as well. And the thing is though, all the holes is going to be there to provide you the best possible adjustment and get some drops. The par 4s are important, especially hole 2 and hole 4 are must eagles in my opinion. In the end, if you do have any comments, make sure that you comment in the comment section below and use the info box on the right hand side to get the elevation, also get the ball and the club that I do suggest for that specific hole. But let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, the important part is to try to find a good reference here, and that's why I'm playing high up. I'm playing with a white ring, both by the bunker and also by the fringe. And the reason I do that is to find the same landing spot all the time, instead of having to play something in between. I'm playing 5 bars of backspin and 4 bars of side spin to the right, and then we adjust maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. And the thing here that I would like to change is obviously hit perfect, but that we looking at the way that this ball is traveling, the 5 bars of backspin is going to be a little bit too much. So I would like us to change to 4.5 bar backspin, and we're going to play 5 bars of side spin to the right to push ourselves more up the hill there. I do strongly believe that's an adjustment that is possible to follow and being able to, tweak to get in the hole nicely. And once again, the reason I believe this shot is better than, even might you have a shot that you have dropped before, is because of the clear reference with the white ring at the top, white ring at the left, which means we can replicate all the time. You can play with a wind ball here as well, and you play the same type of way. And the important part there though is to give yourself at least a side spin 2 ball. Hole number 2 is going to be a must eagle. If you're playing an expert, and also when it comes to master, par 4s where we do get up into short iron range is going to be a must eagle. I'm using the red ring by the rough line there, the red ring of the XMI level 8. But the most important part is to look at the ball guideline. 3 bars left spin, 3 bars top spin, and we're aiming for a yardage around 355 yard mark. And the reason we're not pushing with more topspin is because I do not want to get into wedge range. I do want to give ourselves a short iron towards the pin in somewhat medium distance to minimum distance of our club. 10% over adjustment, and make sure to hit perfect. Second shot, we are going to play with the Thorn or the Hornet or the Falcon. I don't care. You play with the short iron that gives you makes you the most comfortable. No spin is what I'm using here, and then ball guideline short of pin before we then adjust. 355, I play this shot medium distance numbers. Sorry, not medium distance number, I play it 25% of my club. So in between minimum and medium distance, and you can see it's just a little bit too much really. We are lucky to get that one in the hole with a 360, but we need to reduce that one a little bit and maybe play that one 20% of our club instead of 25. For hole number 3, we are just going to lay up. First, I was thinking, should we try to go for it? But kind of changed my mind because, the tailwind is not enough. And sure, Apocalypse level 8 might have a tiny chance, but I think that's a major stretch. I'm using 2 top spin, 3 bars of left spin, and the plan here for me is to just to get it up to fairway. I don't really care how far I'm going, just so I'm not going super duper short or obviously not super duper long. 10% over adjustment for the drive is what we're going to play this one as. And once we're making the drive, we are going to still use the sniper. We're not going to try to get into, short iron or long iron range for a third shot, because we're actually chasing a funnel that is going to be possible to make if we are then playing with the sniper ×2. Here you can see that I'm using 4 bars of backspin and 4 bars of left spin, and the reason I'm using 4 backspin instead of using max backspin is to try to adapt for those of you playing with a lower level sniper and do not possess a 6.5 bar backspin. I'm playing medium distance, no elevation whatsoever, and this is just a transportation shot. I'm not really, trying to push anything, just trying to land it here on fairway. And then, therefore, we do have a rough bump chance by the pin. Now, when you're playing this rough bump, you need to have in mind a couple of things. It's very important that the wind arrow is straight. That's one thing when you do adjust. And also, second, ball guideline to the hole, trying to catch the funnel. And the way you catch the funnel is that you're using approximately 1 bar backspin and 2 to 3 bars of side spin. Then you wiggle a little bit back and forth, and then you will see that the tip of the ball guideline is still going to be inside the hole where the rest of the ball guideline is moving, which means that we do have some room for error. Great ball left and right is still fine. I adjust this one medium distance with no elevation, but you will notice that this is a little bit too much in terms of adjustment. We clip the rough as planned. We come in nicely when it comes to speed. We need a little bit less. We need like 2 decimals less. So which would be like approximately a 45% slider percentage there for us sniper. Sure, it's hard because we can't work with yardage now, so we do need to work with different type of references. And this one, in my opinion, should be no issue to dial in, making an eagle all the time if we hit a perfect ball. For hole number 4, I'm going to provide you with 2 different ways of playing this hole. Both of them will make you see that I'm making an eagle. First and foremost, Kingmaker power 3 ball, and we're playing the drive with 3.5 bar topspin, and also we are going to use somewhere between 3 to 5 bars side spin to the right. All down to you. I would go with 4 is what the number that I'm actually looking more closely towards. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and then once we're done, we are pushing up half a ring with an X mile level 8. If we do have a club that is more like shorter, which X mile 5, X mile 6, I will push up 1 ring instead. And if you have an Apocalypse level 5 plus, you don't push up anything because you already have the distance. Second shot, we do have a short iron towards the pin, and what did I say already in hole 2? I said that when we do have a short iron towards the pin on a par 4 in a tournament, we do need to drop it if we're gonna have anything to do with winning a tournament in Expert or in Master. I play this one slightly less than medium. I play 3.7 rings, which 3.9 would be medium distance with no elevation. And you're going to notice that I just barely get this one to fall in on the right hand side of the cup. And obviously, when looking at this shot here now, we are deliberately aiming a little bit to the right of the pin due to compensate for the slightly low slope that we do have coming right to left on that green. But play that one medium distance. I think that's going to be the more accurate one to do so, at least as a start. So the other alternative I will show you, for those of you that do want to go full blast, and here there is an advantage playing with an Apocalypse level 6 plus. Reason, backspin. Because I'm playing with 4 backspin here, I'm playing 4.5 bar side spin to the left, and this wind 10.9 is a little bit too hefty for us to play with. We're going to attempt a power hook and trying to get as close to the green possible, and obviously ultimately get to the green if we are that lucky. Now I'm adjusting out there into the water, and we are going to go with max curl, full OP, and also going to go with a power hook. The ball is going to bounce nicely on the fairway, but as we do not have the backspin to make the ball make it bite more, we are going to fall into the bunker. And there is actually very little risk to go into the water on the back, even though it looks very close. But those of you having Apocalypse level 6, 7s, then you use as much backspin that you possibly can together with the 4.5 bar side spin to the left. and then you adjust according to, you know, a power hook should be done. Again, this is day one. You know, when attempting the power hooks, obviously it's not going to be super dialed in. If you do get into the sand on the back, then I would really recommend to do the rough bump here. Try to use a sandwich that give you a very nice ball guideline. It doesn't have to be the Spitfire level 7. Could be the Malibu. It could be the Houdini. And then we adjust and then going to take our shot. Have in mind as well that we're playing from a very low point, which means that the ball is going to be way less affected by the wind. And here you can see in the info box I still have a Kingmaker, but if you're going to attempt this shot, you do want to have 10 miles per hour with a power 5 ball. Rather have 9.5 than have 11. Have that in mind, because the stronger wind you're gonna have, the harder it's going to be to land this one on green or close to the green. So for those of you that do want to have a consistent chance for an eagle, or not consistent chance, but play a consistent short iron all the time for an eagle and feel comfortable with that, you go with the first approach. Those of you that do want to go full blast because you might not play that well from with a short iron and hit all the great balls, then it could be good to go full blast. But have in mind, do not attempt it with a club below Apocalypse level 5. For hole number 5, we're going to play with Saturn. It's not often that we're playing with the Saturn, and for those of you that might wonder, yes, the Tsunami will be also a possible club to play with. The Grim Reaper will also be a possible club to play with, but I'm using the Saturn as that's the most common one when we need a backspin. Here you can see that I'm looking at the plus 3 yard mark with the yellow ring by the, you know, the end of the fringe or top of the fringe or whatever we want to call it. So in that left corner of the green, I'm using 5 bars of backspin and 6 bars of side spin to the right. And the thing is, when we're taking this shot, we are using maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Unfortunately, we do hit great right, but the thing that happens with a great right is, first and foremost, we lose a little bit of distance. 2, we are going to hit the green on a spot that is more to the right. Okay, so we're playing like in this little bowl-like of area with our tee shot, and if we do hit great right, the ball is going to bounce more left. So we need to make sure to hit perfect or hit great left at least, otherwise we will be stopping short. You can also look for, you maybe add a baby curl to the right to get more to the right. If you do want to play this one with a wind 5 ball, you can do so, but you need to play then with the Tsunami that has more distance as a long iron, otherwise you will go in between clubs with the Saturn. Also, obviously, side spin 3 ball is a must there. And the reason I choose the Saturn is once again to find a clear reference instead of having to bounce with the Goliath or Grizzly or B-52 further back, which is going to be much more difficult, especially if you don't have the ball guideline, find a good line. Hole number 6, we're playing on the left hand side, and here first and foremost I'm trying to play this drive with the rock, but I'm noticing that once playing this one with the rock and a power 3 ball, I will be having to push up my adjustment in the end, and I don't want to do that, not on this hole. So I'm going to choose the extra mile instead, or I will be choosing the Apocalypse if I would be having that as the preferential driver instead. 4 top spin, 4 left spin. I'm using the red ring by the rough line with extra mile level 8. Have in mind that the rings are different size due to different accuracy on other extra miles. So do not be focused on the red ring. Be focused on the ball guideline, because we do want to look at the second bounce onto the other fairway to be just exactly at the center. Then you're gonna be in a correct position no matter what type of ring you're having by the rough line. Maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. Do not push up, and obviously try to hit perfect, but with a great ball, left or right, it will still be fine. Second shot, we play with a sniper, and here from this side we have an amazing wind to play with, and also we have a funnel there to play with as well. Look at the ball guideline there. I can wiggle back and forth and the ball guideline is stuck, which means that we're going to adapt and use spin so we can have the ball guideline towards the hole with into the funnel, which means that we should be having a little room for error if we do hit if we do misadjust our shot. I do adjust 7.4 rings here, which is very close to minimum distance, or, you know, we are adjusting somewhere between minimum and medium distance. Fortunately, we do hit great, but look at this, we still come in way too hot, and we do need to adjust this one properly and leave the ball guideline short enough that we can get speed towards the pin. That's going to be the tough part on this hole, as you know, if we come in too hot, we will hit the pin and roll out. Otherwise, with this funnel, a good chance for an albatross, better than I was expecting when starting this tournament. No elevation for the second shot and play with a sniper. For hole number 7, I'm going to give you an approach with a wind 5 ball. This is the only hole that I'm actually suggesting a wind 5 ball, and I think it's a very important one to actually do so. I'm playing with 4.5 bar side spin to the right and 2 bars of top spin. And the reason I'm playing with that is to adapt to a side spin 2 ball, like the eyeball for an example. Half of the red ring outside the rough with the ball guideline going through the hole, very important. And then we adjust minimum distance, so not medium distance, minimum distance with no elevation. And the ball looks like it just barely clipped the rough, but you do actually have a ring of difference, so a great ball should still be fine. And we just missed that one to the left of the pin. And there is a couple of things that I want to mention there. First, the tweak is that you still use the 4.5 bar side spin to the right, but we do need to change the pull angle a little bit, or that we do need to move our target a little bit more to the right. We can kick ourselves a little bit more to the right, as well as we did left, or that we reduce the top spin a little bit, because then it will take the curve a little bit more to the right. There's a couple of things that you can do, and I will let you decide for what you feel comfortable to use as tweak. I will obviously continue to provide tweaks for this hole. Then when it comes to the ball type, the reason I'm using a wind 5 ball is to have as little wind possible. Because the more wind we're having, the further down we're going to adjust on the hill. And therefore we're going to go from a higher point to a lower point, and that's going to all affect the shot. So that's why wind 5 ball here, if you can spend one, is very valuable, because then you're not going to have to adjust that freaking far down on that cliff, and therefore have a better chance making a hole-in-one from hole 7. For hole number 8, we are going to attempt a max curl shot. No, we're not going to try to attempt power hook, not yet at least. So I'm going to provide you with a more safe shot with, you know, a little tweak compared to what you see here on the video. First and foremost, 4.5 bar left spin and 5 bars of top spin. Now we are looking at our second, or like the tip of the ball guideline here. You see that we are just at the left edge of the bunker. We do want to start so we are in the center of that bunker. That's the only tweak that we're gonna do. Max distance with a 10% over adjustment. Push up your target to max, and then we apply full curl. No overpower. No overpower whatsoever. The thing that you're gonna see happen here is that this ball is gonna bounce on the fairway. Second bounce will not clip the rough, and then it will gain you a very nice amount of distance. One thing that I would like you to have in mind, that it could almost be better to play with 4 bars of topspin instead, because the risk that we do have with 5 bars of topspin is that once, you know, with the third bounce, the ball is going to roll into the rough on the side. Still no issue to reach for the green in 2 though, but we do want to end up and have a long iron towards the pin. And now we clip the rough and roll out, which means that we are in maximum distance of our club. And the thing that I'm going to look for is this spot. You know, ball guideline is going to be very important with the Goliath level 8 and 9 to be to the hole, not before the hole, because we are adjusting from a higher to a lower point. And to be able to compensate for that, we need to use the top spin so we get to the hole, so we're not gonna go short. Clubs like Goliath level 6, level 7 and so forth, you know, then the ball guideline showed on the screen here is perfect. No elevation for the second shot, and play it maximum distance and numbers, and no push up, no pull back whatsoever. And we're going to attempt to make an eagle here on this very tough par 4. Again, you know, we could look into doing a power hook here with our drive. But at the same time, when we do have such a nice shot without having to go with overpower, you know, it's not going to be the first alternative. So for hole number 9, we're going to play a normal drive here. And I will get back to you in the end with how to maybe push this one a little bit more aggressive. 5 top spin and 4 bar side spin to the right. Red ring by the tip of the cliff there. But at the same time, we're looking at the ball guideline. Because if you're using a different extra mile, you will be having a different type of position with your rings due to a different accuracy. Very, very important to have in mind. Maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment, you can hit great left and great right. Getting it down there is going to leave ourselves up for a wood club towards the pin, and here would be a very interesting thing to actually use a power 4 wind 3, and you're going to notice why. Using a power 4 wind 3, which is a dead ball, put-in ball, there is plenty of those type of balls. Then you can set up your shot without having to stretch out your target into max, because every time I need to tweak spin, I need to, you know, release my target and then to stretch up again. And I'm using, in this case, I'm using the 5 bars of backspin, 2.5 bar side spin to the right, adjustment, maximum distance with no elevation. Then once I'm done, I'm going to push that one up approximately 3 rings. And the thing to notice how many rings you need to push up, it all depends on how far into overpower you need to go. Here I should have pushed up a little bit more, but here you can see the difficulty with, you know, that we're not having a solid way of starting our setup. So wind 3 power 4 ball would definitely be recommended here on 9 if you're gonna play this shot. If you do possess an Apocalypse level 4 plus, you can attempt to play with a power slice from the start using a power 5 wind 0/1 ball. The thing that's going to happen is that you are most likely going to end up into the rough somewhere on the fairway on the top right, but you will still be able to reach for the green in 2. So if you do want to gamble and still have the eagle chance in some sort with a rough iron from maximum distance, fine, then you can go with that type of shot. But I'm kind of still debating with myself if that's going to be the better play to play than trying to get ourselves by using a better ball to get ourselves into a better distance after the drive, and therefore we might have actually a pretty decent chance for an albatross from distance. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Expert Division with Tournament Wind here for the Coast to Coast tournament in Golf Clash the game. Don't forget to get the best guides on the market by becoming a Patreon. Link to patreon.com/golfclashtommy, and the ultimate tournament text guides is in the description down below. Video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and don't forget to join our Discord. Link to Discord is also in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in the tournament.